So Gillingham, founded in 1893, the club has rich history all over the EFL. Neil Harris is the manager, known for his days at Millwall, and has a very decent pedigree. After recent relegation to League 2 from League 1, the club still kept hold of some decent players. However, they really can't get it ticking. After 24 games, they only have 3 wins and have only scored 9 goals. Definitely the least I've ever seen in the English football game. But in December of 2022, they were taken over by the Gillingham brand. Tycoon Brad Gillingham, an American owner, has now taken the hot seat as chairman of Gillingham and has given them some decent signings to try and boost them up, including Tom Nichols from rivals Crawley. My team Grimsby Town well clear at the moment of Gillingham's place in the relegation zone. But here today we take charge of the Gills and we try and lift them all the way up. Yes, people, welcome back to a rebuild on the channel. Today we will be rebuilding Gillingham. Something I've noticed before we get into them, they've got a bigger budget than my team Grimsby Town. However, they're struggling. They need the help of MWS, who's going to take over from Neil Harris. He has been sacked. We come in, going to Priestfield to try and turn this team around. I mean, looking at it, it doesn't look the greatest. We know we've got to make signings. I mean, that's the best team I can make. You know it's difficult when we've got players with no game face starting in the team. Kashkit and Tom Nichols are going to be the main men who hopefully do score more than the 9 goals they have in half a season. But if I have to pick a place to improve, I'm going to go with a right midfielder, I'm pretty sure, and a centre-back, maybe a goalkeeper. This first season's all about survival, and I think despite how we are going in real life, we can get it done. As the board expecting big things, they want us to make a lot of money and fight for promotion. We have it in the tank to do that. Maybe with this man we could. Alexandra Wheeler from the academy. He is 74 overall at the age of 17. That is the right-hand side of midfield fixed straight away. What a player! And 2 million to spend. Maybe not enough, but our Ted Lasso-looking manager will have to spend it well. And he hasn't even played a game before bids are put in for him. 9 million plus Pablo Galdmames, who looks a good player. He looks very, very decent, but I want Alexandra Wheeler to go on the journey with us. He looks like he could be one of the world's best. And we kick off our business right here with the signing of Meshal Barsham. I want to be quite realistic, but we needed a goalkeeper. It seems Brad Gillingham is watching the World Cup, going and signing the backup Qatari shot stopper. We have a player leaving the club in David Tutonda. It's a bit of funds into the club. That gives us enough to pay the wages of the next player. Joining up here, it is Moham Ahmed, another Qatari, this time a left back to strengthen that position. And with them two in, I've changed my formation. I want these players as wing backs, and I feel like Wheeler, our young prospect, just looks so much better as an attacking midfielder, helping Tom Nichols and Kashkit. And putting him on the development plan shows me that 2 of our players are loans in Hakib Adelukan and Elkan Bagot. Not happy to have a Lincoln man here at the club. And we've brought another signing in, this time a centre-back. It's Darnell Johnson coming from Fleetwood for 400k. As Augsburg looks a decent game for pre-season, which we lose 3-1 in. Still, we got a goal against a big team. Williams shows you that we're going places. And changing Wheeler's position to Cam has made him 76 rated. Gillingham, that is insanity. It sounds stupid to say, but I think we've got a youth player who's too good. As we go to the other side of the scale, not youth, but experience. Another Crawley Town man to join Tom Nichols is Joel Lynch. He could probably go in there and be the captain figure. As this, the team we built for season number 1. We are going to stop at the halfway point, but I feel like that's good enough to 100% avoid relegation. Still, I'm not really happy with where the team is. Of course, with Alexandra Wheeler in the team, we should be a lot better, but we would be if the National League was in. 9 points clear of 23rd Sutton. Still, we're 5 points off 7th place Salford, which do occupy the promotion places. And my club Grimsby Town, just below it. I'd rather them still get promoted than us with Gillingham, as we did get beat 3-1 by the Mariners. I kind of love to see it. A lot of progression with the players already in the team, but Williams going down. May notice the loanees Adelukan and Ragot have been recalled, but I don't care. Wheeler is now 78 rated. What an absolute baller. And we did get through in the Papa John's Trophy into a round against Bristol Rovers. As probably expected out of the Carabao with a 2-1 defeat to Huddersfield. But still in the FA Cup with Exeter hosting us. And as for transfers in this window, we don't really have the money to be forking out on any. And with 2 wins at the end of this, I'm looking quite positive on how this has gone. And let's see if we made promotion. Oh, we made the playoffs. I'll take that for season number 1, the one where we had to just avoid getting relegated. We are there, level on points with my club Grimsby Town, Walsall, Stockport, us and the Mariners all fighting for a spot. But just before this, we do get a player out on a 2-year deal, Lewis Walker on loan. And it's Stockport County at home for the first leg. Is our 80 rated Wheeler gonna carry us to victory? He won't, as we're beaten by County 2-1. Oleov with the brace. Will we play better in the second leg? Yes, we will. We win 4-1. Tom Nichols and Wheeler doing it in extra time because we were sent there through Reeves and Cashgate into the playoff final. Please don't be Grimsby. Please don't be Grimsby. Please don't be Grimsby. It's Walsall who we're against at Wembley Stadium. Are we going to be promoted in season number 1? We will not, though. Our tired team going to extra time, beaten by Walsall. Knowles, Hutchinson, Cashgate getting a goal at Wembley. Good for his career, but not for ours, as we stay in League 2 for season number 2. And it looks like Joel Lynch and Alex McDonald, getting very old now, will leave the club at the end of the contracts. As Alexandra Wheeler, now 80 rated, played very well, but trumped by Tom Nichols. 20 goals and 9 assists. Yes, he is a striker. It's absolutely phenomenal. Quite balanced with Cashgate getting involved, Miguel Mandron, and Ollie Lee, the central midfielder, with 10 goals. And season number 2, we don't mess around. We get automatics. Joined this year by Accrington, at Cheltenham Town, Forest Green, and Morecambe. No offence to them, but all really should be in League 2. 4 million in the bank. The budget has doubled from last year. And as I went to make a brew in my Mr. Grimsby mug, the sun's just turned itself off. It's got very, very dark in here. But this team will brighten things up with an amazing run in the rest of this season where we do go ahead and get promoted. Caught a little bit of hype because we've signed an amazing striker, Antoine Hackford from the free agents. Just what we needed. And we've gone ahead and spent a little bit of money, 1 million on a transfer. That is on defender Frankie Kent, coming over from Peterborough. We'd recently been playing right back, right in centre back, but Kent can come in as a true leader. And we've had a couple of outgoings on loans, like Che Alexandra will get some game time. And we've gone ahead and got another free agent in Toby Arnold, because whilst we do that, we get another centre-back free signing. It's Keane Bryan of Sheffield United, I think his latest team was. He's going to step down into League 2 and he's going to be a big addition at the back, building the defence up. You know what they say, strikers win your games, defenders win your titles. Is that something we could be doing? And we take a break away to sign George Broadbent. We needed a midfielder and a cover at right back. That is because Robbie McKenzie leaves to go to Championship Swansea. And we break the bank with the money that we got for a defensive midfielder. We've spent way too much on this CDM in Javi Serrano. 2.25 million. I won't be happy we've spent that much, but when we get promoted, they will. Just before we go into the season, teams trying to get Tom Nichols, and that is just not happening. As before we go into the season, we get a double signing. First one being Matthew Longstaff. One of the Longstaff brothers didn't have a good loan spell at Colchester and comes to the Gills. And the second one, a very decent right back when he came to Blundell Park. It's Kyle Noyle coming to Priestfields, or the Priestfield Stadium. Apologies. We'll be back to look at how this squad does. I mean, it's such a good one, and it should be up there. And we are storming the division this year. We're 7 points above second place Mansfield, where we got all our players from. I mean, we are so comfortably in the playoffs. I'm only looking automatic. The FA Cup has just started, but we've made it to round 3 for a game against our division side, Wimbledon. We were beaten by Manchester City, 3-2. So we gave them a go in the League Cup. Out in the Papa John's Trophy to Stoke, I cannot believe they're in it. And have our team sitting like this. I mean, Wheeler, I don't know how long we've got left of this guy. He's now 83 rated in League 2. I can't wait to see how many goals he has come end of the year. You can see he only has 12 goals, but 9 assists, and Tom Nichols with 30 goals. 30 when he reaches 30 years of age. As despite our 7-point gap, we actually fumbled the title to Mansfield. But we do win promotion. We were 1 point off it. We scored the most goals. And we do go to League 1 in season number 3. It's worth stating we lost one player to the end of the contract, which was Ollie Lee. He was decent. I'm searching for him here. He has actually decided to go ahead and retire. Speaking of retirement, I'm looking at Williams in this squad. Jeez, mate, don't you think you could stop? You've got 7 pace. And Wheeler's been asked to play for England while still in League 1. It will be hard to keep hold of our gem. It should boost our budget if we lose him, which already is 7 million. They keep getting larger. They can try and take him. I'll try and get a backup in as well, but we're going for a right back. We go ahead and get Todd Kane, an ex-Chelsea Academy protege, who's ended up at the good old Gillingham. Makes both of our fullbacks wing-backs now. Ahmed is progressing superbly. And not to go back to Grimsby too much, but we've played 3 League 1 teams this year, and we've beaten 3. Telling you that I don't think there's much difference between League 1 and 2, so I do think we should be up there, pushing towards the top 6. A challenge, but you've got to set yourself challenges and you've got to sign more players. As we start with a massive offer though. Alexandra Wheeler, 78.5 million from Watford. You know, that's enough to change the tide of what happens at the entirety of Gillingham. But I do want to keep a youngster here, and I know of his rating. I know there'll be big teams in for him, but YOLO, it's a rebuild. We want to keep our youth. I'm absolutely crazy turning that amount down, especially when we are still spending millions ourselves. We welcome centre-half Osho around from Luton. A great addition to partner Brian at the back. And I don't know, I feel like we do still need another striker, but Hackford has time to progress and 2 decent backups in Mikel Mandron and Scott Kashkit. But I feel like we do need one and a central midfielder. But in the meantime, we've got a young centre-back in for free in Stefano Moretti, and Josh Ginley joins as a free agent. Hear me out on this one. He's a right wing, but with the pace and the shooting, not too far off as strikers. I know 63 isn't the best, but we can try and change him, which would take 300 plus weeks. Okay, maybe a little bit wrong with Josh Ginley, but even if he comes off the bench, he could make an impact. I do think we've got it right with Josh Eccles, though, a cult hero in the Grimsby save. We get an A on that, and he comes across to help Gillingham. Already spent a season on loan there. Oh, and that's harder to reject. We've got BVB now in for Alexandra Wheeler. I'm still going to keep turning them down, though. The youngster is a Gillingham player through and through. He isn't going to be leaving the academy he came from. Jude Bellingham. And we've got a decent academy player in the ranks again in Javier Pereira. It has me thinking about contracts and when Wheeler's ends. It is only a year 1. We've got to offer him a lot, but he will take it to stay at the Gills. We haven't made as many transfers as usual, but I will end the squad going like this halfway into the season. I'm hoping it's a good choice. We're not near the bottom 4 at all halfway through this season. However, we're not near the top. We're actually banging mid-table in 12th. Can't get any more middle of the pack. We've got 9 wins, 9 defeats, 30 goals for, 30 goals against, 0 goal difference. That is hilarious, as we're only 4 points off the playoffs still. Maybe in addition with that 2 million, could make a difference. Team ratings are going up though, that does help our cause. We're gonna keep on pushing forward. The player's doing well enough, but Brian not happy, and that doesn't make me happy. I don't want a player who's not gonna give it his all, so Kent comes back in. And it's a striker we go ahead and try and sign here, as I think that's a player going out. Anyway, I don't know, because I don't know what Milan Pavkov looks like, because he's a free agent coming from Serbia to be a striker up front with Tom Nichols, a player who's got himself suspended going into the second half of this season. And the team looking very decent in ratings come the end of the year. A team that got us into the playoffs by 2 points. That does mean we've got a difficult challenge in Sheffield Wednesday, who got 95 points altogether. Still, we will give this a go. And that's something I didn't expect to see. We're 4-0 up on aggregate against Sheffield Wednesday, who finished so many points above us. I mean, I'll take it. We've still got another round. If they beat us 5-0, then I'd honestly retire. And they did get the result, but still 100% not enough to trump our 4-0 win. That leaving us with Portsmouth at Wembley. We've got bad memories of this place. And we're going to put Max Amer on the bench because he's retiring, and he's turned into a bit of a cult hero at Gillingham. He won't start the important game because we've got to really make sure that we do win it, and we get a 3-0 win. He wasn't subbed on, but still, Nichols, Pavkov and Dieng have sent Gillingham into the championship for season number 4. The board say they're not happy with us, but 25 goals from Tom Nichols again. He's scoring for fun, and then Matthew Longstaff getting involved, but Alexandra Wheeler, his rating not really going up much, and he's scoring less and less, which isn't concerning me much. It's maybe telling me he does want to move elsewhere. And the board's saying that we're under close observation. I mean, that doesn't really make sense. And we start season number 4 in the championship. I hope it's our last time in the EFL, but for season number 1, we've got to be realistic. Got to avoid relegation. And how much money have we been gifted? 11 million. I don't think that's much, you know. There's an easy money-making scheme in Wheeler, which I don't want to go straight to, but I'll take him off the blocked list. At this moment in time, I'd rather keep Tom Nichols than keep Wheeler. And maybe we do sell him because I've found a replacement. As he's already walking into the club, the new man. That's not him. That's not him. The graphic is glitched out. But we've got Dele Alli joining Gillingham. He's come to the championship now, back to England to revive his career. This is a Dele Alli revive more than a Gillingham revive probably now. Both of us best players turning into cams. That could 100% be Wheeler out. Here we are. Finally we get to see it. There's Dele Alli in the Gillingham HQ, as we do lose a player as well here. First one for quite a bit of money, Josh Ginley to Braga. And we go ahead and make our first money move. Dele Alli a free agent, but Tyrese Simpson has cost us 3.8 million from Huddersfield Town. Our roster way too big for this level. We need more players out than we need in. And we get another free transfer in, Sam Byram, who can play left back and right back. A good utility man. Along with him, failed-ish, no offence to him, he's not going to fail here, Louis Barry from Aston Villa. But it is a free because they let him go. And we lose Keane Bryan. One player actually going out is a centre-back. He has to leave. He's got his wish. We go ahead and get a youngster here who's classed as not good enough. I think he is. He's cost us a little bit too much probably, but Daniel Oliver comes across, the 20-year-old regen from Charlton. A very stacked squad. Wheeler not getting any bids still in for him. Approaching deadline day. And we lose Matty MacArthur, the Australian, going back to his native ground over there. And we lose Georgie Broadbent. He's going to go out on loan to Italy for a little while. As finally a bid received for our 85 rated Wheeler. Leicester City, they're including a decent player in Moore in it. 26-year-old, pretty good. But I think we've negotiated a better deal. Also including a player. Oh, but we can't afford to pay his wages. That is annoying. As Tighty Holton goes out, hopefully that's enough money to do it with. But we've bottled the transfer. And to be fair, it's a bit of a cleaning time, this. Joseph Begord has gone. And Tony Arnold's getting a loan as we've got another offer. This time, Barcelona. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to sell him straight up for 118 million. And it looks like life without him's going pretty well. 14th in the championship. It is bottom half. It's 32 points. and it's 13 away from the playoffs, so this season might be a middle of the road. And despite the positives, there's two big negatives. That is Todd Kane and Tom Nichols. Tom Nichols the most not willing to sign new contracts for next season. Both 32-year-old, but we will be losing our main lads. But hey, at least we revitalised Dele Alli a little bit. 10 goals, he's going up in rating. Him and Tyrese Simpson, not one standout player, which I like. And what I like even more is 108 million sitting in the back pocket of Brad Gallinson. One youth prospect gone. It looks like we've got Pereira actually progressing to maybe be a really good one himself. There's two players that have done really well for us as well is Barsham and Ahmed. The two players we brought from Qatar have been non-stop in the squad. And the chairmans give us the money back to try and sign some players, including Jack Butland, just left Man United. Alongside that, we have Tom Drake, who is a French midfielder who's going to replace, of course, Wheeler. Let's Dele Alli move up a little bit with Sam Gallagher, an ex-Blackburn man coming through. Another ex-Blackburn man in Jacob Davenport. A bit of experience, 4 new faces in January. I want that to magically change how we're doing in the league for the better. The players did help, but it wasn't enough to reach them playoffs. It was actually a bit off. 12 to be in fact. Was it 12? Yes, 12 points off Sheffield United. Nothing more we could do. And it's worth looking at the FA Cup, who were knocked out by Portsmouth. Carabao Cup was Burton-on-Pens. The eventual winner, Tottenham Hotspur. Thrashing City. Season number 5 starts with the glitch of Jack Butland walking in. This has to be the season where we get this team into the Premier League. But like last year, the message that just doesn't sit right with me. Tom Nichols leaving to go to Norwich. Out of all teams, he picks Norwich as Mumam. Ahmed, our left back, will stay. We want to build a team around the left back, strengthening and getting to the Prem. The first player being in, Sergio Moreno. He's cost us 4 million from Metz. The Spaniard is a striker, but he's not the only striker coming in to cover Tom Nichols, because we have signed Jordi Escobar from Pacos Ferreira for 7.5. With a decent prospect in as well, Jamal Ibrahim has cost us almost 4 million, a decent centre-half. And another midfielder through the door in Lesage. Alexis Lesage, a bit of a weird one. He's cost us 7 million, but he has potential in the centre of the park. As I want to quickly get promoted this season, so I've got one more player to come in. And that is the addition of Big Nathaniel Phillips from Brentford. Yeah, it was at Brentford. It's cost us less than Lesage cost to bring him down. He trusts in Brad Gallinson's project and thinks he'll help us into the Prem next season. But it's not looking good. Not going to plan so far in this league. We're sitting 12th again. 10 points off West Brom. Signings have to be made now in January. We can't accept this. Also made aware that Butland, Byram do leave because they're retiring, as the squad's very unhappy overall. And we fix our right back issues with the free signing from Real Betis, Kenny Tete. He will come in next season, so we don't have to worry about, of course, Byram retiring. And Gallinson has used his American knowledge in football to get a goalkeeper through the door. Zach Steffen joins from Bologna for only 6 million. He's not alone though, as Serginho Wade moves from Athletic Bilbao. What a signing this is. He's not cost too much, another 72 rated. And I'm a manager who firmly believes these boys have got us in this mess. They get us out of it, or I am sacked. And I think I'm having deja vu again, because it's another 9th place finish, a lot closer to the playoffs, bearing in mind just 3 points off Bristol City. We reached round 4 of the FA Cup, losing to Spurs, who didn't win it. Their rivals Arsenal did. Didn't get anywhere near the Carabao Cup, which the Evertonians won. I mean, Lampard must do something correct. Checking anything else, as we have Mikel Mandaron, who's got a lot of goals for us, eventually leaving the club. You can see Byron, Butland, all in season number 5. A season number 6 has to be a lot better. Just flying through 5, not good enough. Need more players to add to that squad. At the start of season number 6, we lose another player that we did sign. Darnell Johnson will go to Blackpool, and another player going out in Tatey Holton for about like 150, which isn't bad. And 21 million now in the bank because of them sales, plus the budget we got. It's got to be out the championship this year. And we begin our spending spree or not, but it's only like 3 million on a player that has been at the Gills before. It's Courtney House, returning to partner Nat Phillips, alongside Kenny Tete, who's shown up, makes this team a whole lot stronger. Lose one of the ex-club captains, Frankie Kent, going to Hull for $1 million. And with Joseph Gabode going out, we've got another free agent through the door. That is Mimiriel Benita, who looks a very decent right back who could replace Tete. They can learn from each other, both the Dutchmen. But that's not all, as we've broke the bank on Pablo Moreno. Our new number 9s cost us $15 million to bring to the Gills. Him, Escobar, and Tyree Simpson should be making us go to that Prem. But they won't do it alone, though. We're bringing a man in who isn't the man we're bringing in, because it's Gökhan Gürpüz who we've brought in, another free agent, the final one. The Turkish central midfield maestro will join Gillingham to make us this big team, and it's an A rating. And if you thought I was done there, I'm actually kidding, because we've got Razvan Marin. We went for both midfielders. Both are going to accept. We'll sign both. This team definitely good enough to walk into the Premier League. As you can see, Dele Alli is now our captain at Gillingham. He's having his redemption arc back in England. And let's see how we've got on halfway through the season. That's a lot better than 9th place. We're into the playoffs. Still a lot of competition. The league is very tight. We're 10 points off Brentford. Still in the playoffs by quite a few points. We were beaten in round 1 of the Carabao Cup as well by Hull City. That's a disappointment. Apart from promotions, we have no silverware as the team's ratings keep going up. Look at Dele Alli. I love that, as we've got some upset players like Ibrahim. Hiroki's upset slightly. Oliver's actually never smiled at this club. Very happy with how the team's going though, and I'm not going to rest on it. I'm going to do some contracts, and then we're going to go to the final bit of the season. I just want the Premier League so badly. From the end of the season, the board rating is very poor. Will we even survive after this one? I mean, we can't do any more objectives. I don't want sacking. The team very good come end of the season, so it should have got promoted, right? I mean, Dele Alli has hit 20 goals to try and carry us to it. But no, it's 5th in the table. Playoffs still, only 6 defeats all year. Hull City at home first. Let's get into this Premier League. The first leg against Hull will be a 1-0 win. Dele Alli, just that is the quality you need to shine through. And can Frankie Kent and Hull do something against us? They do. Hull City have won the playoffs against us, and we are doomed to the championship again. And the board somehow keep us in charge. We've got to repay Brad here big time. Come on. We've been trusted with another 22 million. We've got to spend well. The team is so good. Let's pull his finger out. And we begin with an addition into the squad. A free agent coming across. That is Felipe Vera. He looks very decent. Can fill in. 74 rated. Daniel Oliver has gone to Feyenoord. He was one of our backup strikers. So we've gone ahead and just signed one player for a lot of money in Carlos Dominguez. He comes from Celta Vigo for 11.5 million. He's cheaper than Moreno, but he's central defence. A massive addition as we lose one player as well. Josh Eccles goes the other way to Vitoria SC. It's a similar badge, that. Unfortunately, he's left-footed, knocking Courtney House out of the team, but looking at the team overall, this is good enough to go and get the Premier League. It's safe to say our job should be safe. Only one defeat all season. However, with that, we are still second to Blackburn Rovers. Not going to jinx anything with the other competitions. Save them for later. Our team's ratings looking very well, including Dele Alli. And I'm not going to just stop there for mid-season. Oh, we're actually going to, because I wanted to get one player in, but the contract has broke down. Is missing out on a medal, fingers crossed. 2030 is going to be the year of the Gills. Into the Premier League, beating Watford to top of the table. 102 points is fantastic. And it's getting silly now. He's got back to 84 rated. Dele Alli, 27 goals. Both of our strikers with 20 each as well, just makes it fantastic season. As the cup was won by Tottenham Hotspur smashing Wolves, the Carabao by Newcastle United on the rise. And I don't know who's going to be joining us in the Prem. I'm guessing Blackburn, but I do not care. All I care about is ourselves reaching the top level. I know it's took a while to get here, as the only thing we can think about this season is survival in the Premier League. Saying that, I wouldn't mind a trophy going alongside it. A cheeky League Cup. Team for me, 100% good enough to remain in the division, and winning the league league's been very nice to us, gifting us 57 million. Despite the board not being happy, despite them wanting profit, I'm going to spend all that money. In fact, they want us in a mid-table position, which I don't think's happening. And we begin our business in the top division with a signing from Manchester City. It's James McAtee, of course, John, my beloved John McAtee of Grimsby. His little brother making the move to a Premier League club for first team football. As alongside him is a player from the Liverpool Academy. And that is the signing of Leighton Clark from Fenerbahce for 13 million. Ex-Liverpool. You see the link. And we lose a player who's been here quite a while. Matty Longstaff will go. He partners up with or Eminem in Holland. As we lose Jordi Escobar, one of our main strikers, to Real Betis for 27 million. That's one of the biggest outgoings apart from Wheeler. With this season being about stability, we bring in a veteran centre-back in Nathan Ake, all the way from Manchester City. But he's not the only one. Jack Grealish, he moved to Toulouse for 15 million. He's got the Prem experience that we need. Alongside that is a cheeky signing of Rob Atkinson from Bristol City, just as defensive cover. That rounds out a good enough team to really stay in this Premier League. And halfway through the season, we're doing okay. You can see we sit 13th in the Premier League. We are well away from the relegation zone. We've conceded a staggering 40 goals, got a bad goal difference, but still, we're only 12 points off Euro. The team impressing, but we could add some more players to the ranks this month. And with Zach Steffen announcing his retirement at the end of the season, I think goalkeeper is where we prioritise. And we go ahead and sign an absolute world beater. Zach Steffen's ex-teammate Edison will join Gillingham on a free. And get this, he is 90 overall, coming to a mid-table Premier League side, wanting to stay in England and with style. I can't believe we've pulled it off. We even get a couple more. Mateus Ginter, one of them, and the other one is some right-back cover in everyone's favourite Emerson Royale. Strengthens the team absolutely stupendously. As we also have an outgoing here, making some money with Serginho Wade going to Everton. It doesn't free us up enough room to sign the player I do want to sign to strengthen this squad, so I'm going to trust these lads to keep us alive at the end of the season. And I was correct. We finish in 13th. We finish, what, 11 points clear of the drop. Edison a big help in between the sticks. Manchester City walked the league, but not on too much points. And statistically, we've got a new man on top in Pablo Moreno, pipping Dele Alli, who's still got 17 goals. And a season of survival in the Prem has to equal money. I mean, 51 million's not bad. I'm not sure it's enough to turn this team around on its head, but we've got to trust the money given. And we begin our day with a free signing. Of course, we love our free agents. Martial moving from his release at Sevilla. As joining him is Leon Bailey, as my camera just dies. Denzel Dumfries also through the door. Need to get a charger. And we're going to change up the shape for this next one. Hopefully that issues us a little bit more luck. And we've actually made a transfer from another club. We've paid money for Andre Santos, ex-Chelsea man, 33 million plus Emerson Royale. This team a lot better and should be challenging higher up. We've got the faith in the lads. And the transformation is getting there. You can see we're 6th in the table. With 179 rated centre-back, it's safe to say I didn't expect to just vacuum up the league at this point. Santos, the new signing, is amongst the top scorers, but it's shared around the squad, which I love. It's a big player in this window as well, because James McAtee has left to Real Betis for 20 million. That leaves us with Dele Alli starting the remainder. Still, I trust the man, and it leaves us with a little bit money left over. And another free agent through the door, back to reality with Luca Longo, a backup left back from Italy. And maybe the last signing we make this window. I want to see how the squad gets on its own. And we can revisit these lads at the end to see if they've got us in the promised land. And looking at that last month, I'm not entirely filled with confidence. It was a 9th place finish, which to be fair is very disappointing. I really thought we were going to get Euro. Stats show Leon Bailey scored the most goals. That is an issue as well. We didn't have anyone really standing out in front of goal. 73 million. It stepped up again. And as I'm listing players up here, Dele Alli is deciding to retire at the end of the season. That's an absolute shocker because I would have loved to use the man. However, we begin with a big signing. It is Nico Barella, just like the Chelsea Graham Potter save we did, or rebuild. Barella joins. He's not the only one though. He's joined by Bruno Guimaraes. We've just signed 2 Rolls-Royce midfielders. But is that it? No, it's not, because Ruben Neves makes it 3. I think we're going back to the diamond. As we get another one through. Marcus Thuram. Free agent FC gets hold of Ben Chilwell. One I was going to do last year. Kepa joins as our Qatar keeper Batchem has left. Chilwell going in means that Ahmed, our other Qatarian, will drop to the bench. We'll move Serrano into centre-back where I think he could do a job. And we have an outgoing of Jamal Ibrahim to Fulham, making money but not spending much. Even Felipe Vera joins him on the way out. The door was still swinging. And we're able to get his own signing in. A £33 million Rafael Machado from Man United. And Godson Grapuz has left the club. He's freeing up a bit of money. Also Javier Pereira, one of the youngsters, not for Wheeler's price tag. And a big departure with Maham Ahmad going over to PSG for almost 20 million. And we have a huge outgoing in Andre Santos picking Nottingham Forest for 60 million, leaving us 120 still to spend. Which we do with Damiano Vitale. Well, we kind of do. It's for free. And we sign a big centre-back. The regen Walner joins Gills as Edison goes out. 34 million for a 38-year-old. Not bad, as Jonas Costa 65. He is joined by Stefan Ali for 38 from Mainz, a decent striker. And we let go of Mimarechel for 10 million to Forest as well. That's all the business that we got done. With a very fatigued team at the moment, I am hoping for European football to win us that trophy we need to do. But we're not there again. We're actually a few points off of any competition. I'm guessing it's got something to do with Kepa's injury, as Sutherland has had to play. That means we've got to use this 50 million to just get one quality keeper in. And we've gone ahead and signed a goalkeeper in. Fenech Elek from Roma, cost 50 million plus Marcus Thuram. And it's an 8th place finish in the Premier League, which is the best that we've done, but I still feel like we could have done better. No runs in the cups once again. Not even the Carabao. We got knocked out in the quarter-finals, but it's all about next season. Break into the Champions League, then win the Champions League. Or any competition. Team needs to improve. It needs to build. And looking through players that I want to sign, Alex Wheeler's popped up, now 93 rated. Oh, how we could have done with him. And we start off with an outgoing. Ruben Neves will leave to Chelsea. It frees up the room to get Bilal Al-Kanous, a player, a Moroccan from Vallecano. Sign Alexandra Barr as a bit of cover for the bench. He can play on the wing and, of course, at right back as Ismail Benassa replaces Ruben Neves as our CDM. And we get a backup striker through the door here. He's just welcomed Lucas Nemecha. I absolutely hate playing against him in career mode. As we don't stop there, though, we've signed Arnu Martinez from Girona, 21 million for a fullback on either side. I believe this team is good enough. We've got to believe. It's got really good ratings all around. I'm going to stick in Benassa and put Serrano forward. That is quality. And I've just noticed, even though Dele Alli did leave, we've still got another Ali in our Swedish striker. And what I've gone ahead and done is simulated to the end of the season. Or not the end. Because we've got a semi-final against Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley in the FA Cup. Now I know what you're thinking. Max, this was supposed to be winning the Champions League. No, that's too difficult. I mean, when Bruno Guimaraes is sat on your bench and you are still not winning anything or getting in the top 4 with Gillingham and this team, it is an outrage. We are going to keep on going till we win one major trophy, and I'm going to hope this is it. Are we going to be playing in an FA Cup final? We are! Tyrese Simpson has put us there. He's been the striker since the championship. Gillingham may get their trophy here in season, what is it, 12, 13? I've lost count, it's been that many. We face Newcastle United in the final for our chance to complete this saga and win a major honour. I'll show you the league in the meantime. We do sit 8th, so we're getting closer, but not there. This is the team that we're going to hopefully take to win the trophy. I mean, it's a very nice one. It's very good. Can it beat the Rich Geordie boys? Here we are aiming to win the FA Cup. We could have done it sooner, but we've just not had the luck. Newcastle United will, of course, have a brilliant team. Just the money they can throw at it. It's insane. Decent runs to the final. I mean, we had Sunderland and Bournemouth and then Tottenham, which we overcame to get here. We don't let this slip. We try and keep comfortable. A run on from their men first. It's forced backwards. Newcastle passing with venom. They had a chance to whip it in. They have not gone with it. And a good cut-out from ourselves. And Martinez with a run down this wing a little bit into Serrano. Gonna go for the chip. Just not worked out, so we'll get the pass into the middle now. Serrano dinking it in. Just not dropping for us. As a big tackle from Wallner. He's got himself in the book. One thing we definitely don't want is a dismissal as Martinez picking a ball into Tyrone Simpson. And a chance for Newcastle though. And oh no, that's not a great start. In the first half, Deco gives the Geordies the lead. We could not be winning a trophy after all. We must rebuild. We can't allow that to happen. Could be an instant response, but what a tackle. Not a fan of that first half. Now we're behind. Step the levels up, boys. For Serrano on the edge of the box. We need to respond and respond quick. We won't with that kind of passing as a ball over the top. Simpson just trying to use his pace. Closer, but not there as it's a ball now onto Simpson again. That's a brilliant ball. It's Ali, his strike partner, striking the post. Flooding after the Geordies, really trying to get a grasp on this ball to get a goal. The football we have played has been exquisite. It's a good ball through as well. Here is Simpson trying to step away. Still got the ball back and a good ball through. If he's onside, it's a miss. It's off the post again. This is honestly fantastic football from us. We might have another chance. It's Tyrese Simpson who's through, scoring in the 82nd minute. Gillingham hope still alive through our number 10, who's been the rock-solid striker. It's just what we needed and what we wanted to probably take us to the extra time. But a late corner from Newcastle. We don't want them scoring. Vitale off the bench to head it away. And actually, could we do this in normal time? It's Barella sneaking a ball on. That is Simpson. He's got a man at the side of him. It is Moreno to win us the FA Cup and complete the save. Pablo Moreno and Tyrese Simpson have been the men who have got us this trophy. We've done it. We've finally done it. It cannot be over-trumped now. That is it. Gillingham are winning. As the final whistle goes at Wembley Stadium and the journey is complete. Scenes from the fans all around the stadium. We have took this club truly from being on the caution of National League football, somewhere I'd never put any club. Near enough going into extinction before Brad Gallinson came in charge, and now the Gillingham team have got a huge trophy in England. Not only playing in the top league, but what a game. It skipped the trophy, which I'm very annoyed about. But there is confirmation. Just get in, lads. Tyrese Simpson scoring the 24 goals to lift us up here. We've had some brilliant players. Simpson, Ali, Serrano in the midfield, but Ali has to be the main man for the save. Scoring 20 goals a season. We play his ex-club next, but we're not going to be playing it. This is the rebuild complete, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy these rebuilds, you want to see them go further towards the Champions League, hit the subscribe button. Tell me which team you want to see do next, and I will get them straight out to you. But thank you very much. Take care. In a bit. Up the Gills. And peace.